So like all parents, my family took me to dancing school when I was very young. And you have to remember that we're talking about the late 20s and early 30s. And I had 15 minutes, the dancing classes included 15 minutes of tap, 15 minutes of acrobats, and 15 minutes of ballet. And that went on for quite some years, and I, of course, loved it and went on with it, and went from there to my dance teacher's place in Abilene, Texas, to New York, and worked there for a couple of years, off and on, for mostly supper clubs, and it was a lot of fun and very interesting. And the main reason I went was because that I wanted to come back to Abilene and teach dancing. And to be a good teacher, you had to take dancing in New York. You had to study in New York. That was a big plus on any resume. So it's been most enjoyable, and I've been doing it for a good many years. My first cousin was Sid Cerise, and so I have sort of thrown that out a couple of times, so I think that maybe that's where they started. But no, my family, so far as I know, they did not dance at all. Well, it was a lot of fun. I would never have gone by myself. My dance teacher took me, Letitia J. She was my first dance teacher, and I would never have been brave enough to have gone by myself because I was very young. And she took me to New York and stayed with me until I knew what to do. I mean, it introduced me to the people that would help me get a job, and so and actually it was very it wasn't difficult at all. It was I worked all the time. So, and it was usually in supper clubs, and only about 2 weeks at a time, 2 weeks here and 2 weeks there, and so it was, I got around a lot, so it was very interesting and fun. I enjoyed it very much. Well, when my husband retired, we were living in Baltimore, Maryland, and when he retired, naturally we came to the Cape because the property that we're on right now, which is Smith Heights Cottages, has been in his family for since the turn of the century. So it was just a natural move to the Cape for his retirement. But it was not a retirement for me, and I was very happy to have made the association with the Academy. As soon as I came, matter of fact, I had been here only a week, and I went to a class, John Kelly's jazz class, and so that started my working here on the Cape. And then he was doing a play at the high school, George M., and he needed a tap teacher, and so he asked me what the background that I had in tap, and so I got a job right away. So at the Academy. Yes, I did. As I said before, John Kelly needed a tap teacher, and so I started right in, and that was the fall of 1971. And I've been teaching ever since on the Cape. Oh yes, I always wanted to be a dance teacher, always. That's the reason I went to New York, was to study so I could go back home and teach. I had a friend of mine whose daughter was going to jazz class, and I said I would like to go also. And when I first went in to the jazz class, John Kelly was sitting at the door, and these were younger girls, and he stopped me and said, "Oh, we have a ladies' class coming up after this class." And I thought, I don't want to be with the ladies, I want to be with the girls. And so I told him that I couldn't come, that this hour was better for me to come. So I ended up with the girls. Well, that is such an interesting story that he tells it so much better than I do. But I'll tell you the first part of it. Two of my students, Carol Coleman and Kristen Barker, were on the beach, Skakit Beach, and they were talking about their tap dancing class and about their teacher, and Chuck overheard them speaking about a tap class, so he immediately went over and asked them about it, and I think that he can fill in after that. I mean, it was it's amazing. That was like 14 years ago, and now he is teaching. He has been for 7 years now, and he was 42 years old when he started, and is now teaching, and he's one of the best teachers that we have ever had. Of course, I'm not teaching anymore, but I'm still there. I still go to faculty meetings, and I keep up with my girls, my ladies, the Elaine Chase Dancers, which Chuck Freites is continuing to keep them together as a group, and so I'll always be interested in what they do. I'm always interested in what Chuck is doing also. So I follow him around and follow the girls around.
I want to start dancing down there. I'd just like to say, could we all join voices and lift them up and sing a happy birthday to Elaine Chase, okay? Anybody got a key? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elaine. Happy birthday to you.
That was my 80th birthday.
80th birthday.
Yes, and it did, and it happened. I thought it was just a joke. I mean, I just said it as just kiddingly, and lo and behold, first thing I knew, that they had arranged to block off Main Street, and we got a whole group together. I mean, there must have been, I don't know how many dancers there, 200 at least, and we all tapped on Main Street, so it was great. I left town on my 80th birthday thinking that, that I didn't want anybody to do anything special for my birthday, because it seems as though they would always do something special on my birthday. So I thought, well, this year I'm just going to leave town, and then they can't do anything. So when I got home, when I returned home, actually Tricia Rez picked me up at the airport and explained to me that they had made arrangements to block off Main Street and to tap dance down Main Street. So it was amazing, and it was a lot of fun. It's something that you learn to love, and after you have after you have learned so much about it and you have accomplished so much, it's very difficult to give it up. I mean, it's as I always said, a dancer has to dance, and so it would be something that you will always want to do. Yes. Oh yes, yes. Matter of fact, I think most of them started tap dancing just really for the aerobic exercise, and they became surprised when they really were learning how to dance. And so, no, but it's a great exercise. It really is. It's very good. Couldn't be better.
I met Carol and Kristen on the beach, as Elaine told you, and I had never taken a tap class, and I kind of fake taught myself to tap because I was very involved in community theater in Boston, and I wanted the part of George M. Cohan and George M. So I watched the film, and I kind of made the sounds with my feet in rhythm to the music that was in the show. Well, I got the part, but I had never taken a class, so when I came down and heard them talking about a class, I said, wow, I'm down here for the summer, let me give it a shot. And they were all excited, and they said, listen, we have to, she's in her 70s, she's fabulous. I said, oh, brother, I'm going to go to my first class, I'm going to see this old lady in a chair with a cane banging out the rhythm. So I went to Willie's gym where the class was at the time, and I looked in and I didn't see the old lady with the cane, but I saw Elaine in front of this big class in her leotards with her very famous legs, and I couldn't believe it. And that's where I was mesmerized from that moment on. I took her beginner class, I took her intermediate class, I took her advanced class just to be in the room with her and the girls. Changed my life.
That sounds more like Chuck. I didn't see him in quiet. I think it's grown a lot.
Absolutely.
I think so. And on the Cape anyway, I think I was the first to have the adults.
Right.
And so...
it wasn't very common to have an adult tap dancing class. Usually, if you were an adult and you wanted to take a class, you really had to dance with the teenagers, or sometimes the kids. So Elaine started this all-adult class, which is very different than a kids class, and I think that has grown. I think the adult classes.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely.
How long have they been in existence?
Well, this all started with just teaching a class, and for the most part, I think that a lot of the ladies started just for the aerobic exercise, came to take tap lessons just for the exercise and because it is fun. And when they first came to me, when I was going to have a recital, my lady said, "You couldn't get me on the stage. I wouldn't think of getting on the stage." So I would have to almost beg them to, to say, just do a small number in the recital. And as the time went on, then we started taking a small group to a nursing home and to the Council on Aging, and pretty soon I can't keep them off of the stage. Now they're all ready to go.
Now, what did you do? Send the word out that you were going to do this, or how did?
No, it just happened.
Like tops.
It really, yeah. It just happened. It just involved from the classes, and as we started dancing more at nursing homes and various places, and it's a talented group, and Joe and Beth Fletcher, who are great costumers, began to make costumes for us, and of course everybody has joined in with that. And the next thing you knew, we had costumes and we had routines, and so we just decided to be a group. Well, I think what they're doing today is marvelous. I really do. I like it a lot. I liked the more Broadway style of tap dancing. It's really more my style. And I like the Gene Kelly, the Fred Astaire, and the one, Eleanor Powell, Ann Miller. That, to me, that was tops.
So
I don't think it got better.
Well, for years, Elaine was my only teacher, so I really had Broadway tap, which I absolutely loved. And she always encouraged me, take from other teachers, and I never did. I never had I just didn't want to, number one. I didn't want to leave her, and I just didn't. Well, anyway, she pushed, and I started taking from fabulous tap teachers in Boston, Julia Boynton, Pam Raff. I'm taking that from Thelma Goldberg, Jamie Sherman, Valerie Marcantonio, all these unbelievable tap dancers. And they teach jazz tap, which is a whole different thing than Broadway tap. It's very close to the floor, very, very rhythmic. And I love it. It was very challenging because I had just Broadway tap for so many years. So what I try to do now in my classes is I love Elaine's style, I love the jazz tap style, and I try to take the two styles and kind of combine them, which is very challenging sometimes, but wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I was the director. I ended up being the director in 2001, I think. And no, it's yeah.
It was a mixture of styles,
I think
would
it's a
say.
mixture. I really do. And he still teaches some of the routines that I had choreographed, and the others. And he's just doing a wonderful job. I mean, he is a great choreographer, and his routines are really super good. And I really don't know if you. They are a mixture. I think most of your choreography would be mixed. And so, and that's good. It's very good. As a matter of fact, I prefer it over anything.
Tap night was always a very personal exchange between the audience and the tap dancers. We had a live band. We did a lot of talking to the audience, singing a lot of old favorite songs. And in the past few years, it's had more of a recital feel to it, where it has had a theme and where we had to fit into the theme. It was very limiting to a lot of us as choreographers to try to find the right music to fit into that theme, and also to teach a routine that would fit. So prior to the last few years, it was whatever teachers wanted to do. Get your song, a song that turns you on, get your music, get your class, and go for it. And we're going to try to get that feeling back again. The feedback that we've got, a lot of people miss that old style, and hopefully we can.
Well, I'd like to add one more thing to that, and that is that Chuck was always the master of ceremonies, and he was there. And I love to hear him sing. He used to sing, and he was on the stage almost the whole time for the whole show, and I don't know how he did it, but he was very, very good at it, and he was the one that made the connection between the audience and the dancers. I mean, he knows how to play the audience, and he's good. He's very good, the best I've ever seen.
He's very excited about doing it again. He had a wonderful time, and it really added so much.
It did.
It was like our old tap night. We loved it, and he's willing to do it every year, he said. So
That's great.
yeah, we have had over the years. Tap night has grown. When Elaine first started, it started at the academy, the old playhouse, and it was a private thing. The girls just invited their family. There was no charge. Very small group. Then it grew. Friends came, and then Elaine started passing the hat. Well, it wasn't actually you, but somebody passed the hat. I think it was Naomi or somebody. And the audience grew. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. Then we moved to the high school, where we had to do 2 shows. We had it was weekly tap night, but then we had to do a matinee because we had to turn so many people away. And it's because this loyal audience in the Orleans area that has been so wonderful to us, supportive of Elaine and the whole TAP program, that is so true when I say if it wasn't for them, we would not be on that stage, and that's so true.